Hello or welcome to HS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about aerial firefighting. So in aerial firefighting we will be discussing three topics majorly. First is aerial firefighting, second is MAF system, third is attack protocols, how we combat the wildfires. So let's get started. So first of all we need to understand the term aerial. Okay, aerial means any air resources or any aerial resources. See, firefighting means we all know that, but by aerial firefighting we are using any aeroplanes, any helicopters, or any object which can fly to combat the fires, especially this type of techniques used in wildfire for their effectiveness. We are using that techniques in wildfires. Okay, now see, the question arises here, what are the types of aircraft what we use here? So a range of aircraft we use in wildfires by combating the wildfires. Okay, I'll give you some examples of that aircraft which we use. First is AT-1002. It's basically a US aircraft with a medium capacity of 3,800 liters. Okay, this is the capacity of that particular aircraft. If we come to the next, that is Bombardier. It is a Canada-based aircraft having the capacity of 12,010 liter. If we come to the next, it's AN-32P. It's basically a Ukraine-based with a capacity of 8,000 liters. So lots of aircrafts are there. Okay, now we saw the classification of that aircraft. Classification of aircrafts used in aerial firefighting. It will come under 4 classes. Okay, we will be discussing that classes too. What are all the classes which will be present inside that? The first is light. Okay, under the light category, those aircraft who have the capacity of 3,800 liters. Under that category, below that, they will be considered as light. Next is medium, having the capacity of 38,000 liters, up to 38,000 liters, that they will be considered as medium. Come to the heavy, up to 7,600 liter, 76,000 liters, sorry, they will be considered as heavy. Next is super heavy, more than 76,000 liters. So this is the classification of that aircrafts which we use in aerial firefighting. Now, what are the types of fire retardant what we use inside that? In the previous time we used to use borate salts. Okay, now why we use borate salt? Because they have two purposes. First of all, they will extinguish the fire. Next is they will sterilize the soil. They will help the soil to be contamination free or decontamination. Okay, but now after some time they have identified that that particular borate salt is harmful. To whom? To animals who are dwelling inside such forests which are affected by fire. Okay, so now as a newer options we have ammonium polyphosphate as a newer option. Ammonium polyphosphate as a fire retardant with a thickener. We have to use a thickener, that is alta-pulgite clay. We need to use alta-pulgite with every fire retardant. We need to use a clay. Okay, we need to use a thickener with every fire retardant. If you come to the second, that is diammonium phosphate with guar gum derivative thickener. So these are the two famous fire retardant what we use in aerial firefighting. Now we need to understand what is a MAF system. Now in my next session I will be making one separate video on that particular topic because it is very important. If you are studying about aerial firefighting, it becomes very necessary to know about that. See, MAFS means modular airborne firefighting system. Okay, what is the purpose of that system is, whatever the aircrafts we are using in aerial firefighting, inside that there is a space. Generally mostly we are using cargo aircrafts. There is a system, that is MAFS, which is used to extinguish that fire by by giving all the fire retardant in a proper manner, in a proper density, thickness. That particular system is used. MAF system, Modular Airborne Firefighting System. Okay, it is a very big system generally. So now we'll be discussing about the attack protocols, how we combat a fire. Basically it is divided into 5 types, 5 steps you can say we'll be discussing here. First is your sizing up a fire. Sizing up a fire. Now see, sizing up a fire means you need to go to the fire wherever. For example, this is the structure of a wildfire. Okay, you need to go at a place where radiant heat is very low. Okay, to estimate the size of the fire or what is a suitable location to combat this fire. So that is your sizing up a fire. Next is selecting a point of attack. Selecting a point of attack. In that particular point, what you need to do is you need to go in such places and choose what will be the optimal point to attack this fire, because sometimes when two fires are coming from opposite direction, they will meet at a certain point. So there is a risk of mega blazes. Mega blaze. Now what is a mega blaze? When two fire meet at a place, they will create a very big fire. Okay, as a result of their meeting. So if someone is present in that, inside that area or inside a particular radius of that interaction point, so there it is very hazardous for them, because the heat which will be releasing in their point of meeting will be very high in comparison of their particular location where they are burning as a localized burning. Okay, third one is mopping up. When you put all your fire retardant, everything you have put, your fire is extinguished. Now there is a point that is called mopping up. We need to see the fire, because sometimes if you see, for example, this is one fire, this is second fire. Okay, we have constructed one fire line here, but sometimes, as you know, when wood is burning, so there are some little sparks are there, that is called embers. Okay, so now there is a risk that if it is not burnt fuel, it is unburnt fuel, this is burnt fuel, so there is a risk of ember transmission, small sparks transmission from burnt area to unburnt area. So we need to stop that, because the material's flammability inside the forest is vary, because depend upon fuel, depend upon season, their topography, climatic conditions and all. So we need to end up by doing that mopping up, by ensuring that all the fire is extinguished now. Next is patrolling. That is very important. We need to identify the hotspots. Now hotspots, what is hotspots? When a fire occurs, as you know that small smoke is coming out from that particular area, so we need to do aerial patrolling for that. What is that called? Aerial patrolling. By using helicopters or planes, we need to see is there any smoke is coming out of our forest and all. If it is coming, we need to take immediate actions to avoid any big fire occurrence. Okay, you have done patrolling. Now if everything is okay, you can say a fire out, means we have controlled the fire fully. So these are the protocols what we follow inside that. So this is the full analysis of this topic. If you like the video, don't forget to press the like button, share this video. If you have any suggestion or any doubts regarding that video, you can put them in comment box. I'll be very happy to answer them. And kindly subscribe to my channel for the notification of every video I upload. Thank you for listening and all. God bless you all.